What's the most popular podcast consumption app in the world? It's not Apple Podcasts. It's not even Spotify. It is YouTube. Yeah, the video playing, sharing, hosting app that is the #2 search engine in the world behind Google.com is also the #1 place where people listen to podcasts. Now, you likely did not become a podcaster or start a podcast because you wanted to be a YouTuber. But as podcasting has matured and as more people are entering the space, YouTube has become a very viable and important distribution platform for podcasters to get the word out there about your show and to get in front of people where they're consuming media online. So in this talk, we're going to talk about how to create or how to start a high quality video podcast, and we're going to do it for free. Okay, so there's not going to be any additional expenses that you need to make once you have your audio set up in order to pull this off. But I just want to really simplify this whole process for you, take the overwhelm away, the confusion away, so that you know exactly how you can start publishing your podcast to YouTube and have it be successful. Because you don't want to add a bunch of extra work and a bunch of extra steps and have it not be worth your time. So in this talk, I'm going to be giving you a step-by-step simple process that you can follow to create a high quality video version of your podcast for free. Now, right off the bat, I will tell you, audiograms don't work well on YouTube. An audiogram is where you take a piece of audio or the whole episode, and then you use a platform like Wave or Headliner to simulate an audio waveform with an image in the background. And the reason that doesn't work is because when people go to YouTube, they want to watch videos of people. They want to see people actually doing things in the same way that this talk is recorded for video and audio purposes. It'd be really weird if there was just a static image of me on YouTube and you just heard audio in the background. And so in order for YouTube to work and make sense as a distribution platform, you really do need to have video of yourself or whoever is talking in order to pull it off. But that doesn't mean you need a ton of expensive gear. All you need is your audio podcast setup. So whatever microphone you use, whatever audio interface you use, whatever website or software that you use to record your audio, and you need a camera. That's it. It could be the camera on your phone, which is exceptionally good nowadays. If you have an iPhone or a Samsung, that phone is better than what you could get with a DSLR or a video camera 10 years ago. So use the camera you already have in your pocket, or you can use a webcam, the one that comes with your laptop or your computer, or if you have a desktop and you have an external webcam, those work too. I know Alex uses a webcam for all of his presentations. Seems to work pretty good, right? And so you don't have to have this multi-$1,000 camera setup in order to start recording YouTube videos, especially for podcasts, all right? You just need the camera you already have in your pocket. So let's talk nuts and bolts, how you will record yourself in order to put your videos on YouTube, in order to put your podcast as a video version on YouTube. And let's start with if you're just recording solo episodes by yourself in the same style that I'm doing right now for this pod talk. So if you're recording by yourself, you can use platforms like Zoom, Riverside, Squadcast, a lot of these long distance recording platforms here where you can interact and schedule meetings and record meetings online. You can also record just yourself. Every platform that allows you to bring people into a meeting room and record will still work with just one person in the room. And so if you're comfortable with a platform like Zoom and you already have a subscription to it to do meetings, you can just pop into a Zoom room all by yourself and hit record. And you can record the video and the audio from those meetings. You'll definitely want to go into the settings to make sure that you can get the best quality possible from whatever platform you're using, but you can use a platform like that. Now, if you want the highest quality possible for audio and video, then rather than using a software like Zoom, which is really set up as an online meeting space, then I recommend recording your audio the same way you normally do, whether it's Audacity, GarageBand, Hindenburg, Adobe, Audition, and then recording your video separately. So if you're using a webcam, then you can, and you have video capture software on your computer. QuickTime is a free software that comes pre-installed on MacBooks, and you can download free software to record your screen for Windows. You can just have that window up in front of your audio recording software and then just be recording your screen or recording a window on your screen. And that's a totally normal way to do it. If you want to use your phone to record video, you can just set it up on a tripod behind your monitor or off to the side, which is what Joe Rogan does. So he's not staring right down the barrel of the camera. He's looking off to the side, and the camera is capturing it that way. And so you can have video recorded separate from audio. But regardless of how you do it, at the end, you'll still have a video recording of what you just did and an audio recording. Now, what you do and how you record your audio, that whole process can stay exactly the same. So if you normally do different takes and different segments and it's more scripted, you can do that. You can have a scripted podcast and have the camera recording you from the side, and that's totally fine. Like, people totally are willing to watch that video, listen to it in the background on YouTube. It doesn't have to be this huge production. Or if it's more conversational and you're having interviews and just talking about things that you're already passionate about, just talk the way you would normally talk. And don't be so worried about, perfecting every single word and having the right phrasing. You're going to have some stumbles. You're going to have some fumbles. That's just a normal way that people talk. And so when you're recording yourself, don't be so caught up in trying to be perfect, especially as you're first getting into video. Just do your best and publish what you got. Now, that's how you record yourself. If you want to record interviews, whether it's in person or online, you're going to do exactly the same thing. So if you're recording long distance interviews, you're going to record in a platform like Zoom, in a platform like Riverside that allows you to join from 2 different places in the world to the same online meeting room and record that interaction. You just want to make sure that you're recording video alongside your audio. If you're using Zoom, you'll want to make sure that you go into your settings to make sure you're recording separate audio for each participant. And that's it. Then you'll have the audio and the video from that interaction. If you're recording in the same place, so you're set up in an office or something like that, then all you have to do is set up a camera in the corner to record the whole interaction. You don't have to have multiple cameras set up. You don't have to worry about it being fancy. You can just set up your phone on a couple books, maybe get a little tripod with a mount, and then record yourselves having the conversation of your podcast. That's it. You don't have to overthink this. You literally just need a camera to record you recording your podcast the way you normally do it. All right, that's all you need in order to get started. Now, here's some tips for how to record video. All right, because you don't want it to, be bad to look at. You want people to watch the video and actually enjoy the process of watching your podcast interview. So 3 really quick tips. Number 1, pay attention to what is in your background. If you've got a pile of dirty laundry in the background, that's going to show up on video. Whereas if you just have an audio podcast, nobody really cares because they can't see where you are. One of the long-running jokes in podcasting is that the best podcast recording place in your home is probably your walk-in closet. But it looks kind of weird to record yourself in your closet with a bunch of clothes in the background and stuff on the floor when you have video. All right, so you want to be mindful of what is behind you in the shot. And so in my camera angle, I have things on the wall, I have a bookshelf, I've got a plant, and that's just to make it more visually interesting and make it look more like I care about the space that I'm in. You just want to present a clean environment so that it looks professional and looks polished. But all you can do is just take all the clutter, throw it on the floor, record your podcast, and then when you're done, throw it all back where it was. All right, you just want to be mindful of what's in your background on your video. You don't want it to be distracting. The second thing is to pay attention to lighting. So with audio and audio podcasts, we really focus on, reducing echo, making it pleasant to listen to, getting rid of background noise and reverb and things like that. With video, lighting is the biggest thing that you have to pay attention to. Is it easy to see your face? Is it easy to see your facial expressions? Is it easy to tell what's going on? Or does it look like you're in a room and there's not really good lighting? Okay, so a really easy way to do this is just to record in front of a window. Sunlight is free, okay? And since we're on the free 99 kick for this pod talk, that's what I would recommend if you're getting started. Just set up your camera where you're facing a window during daylight, and you can get some nice even lighting on your face and it'll look absolutely fine, especially if you're getting started. Now, if down the road you want to be able to record in different places or record at night, you can get a really cheap ring light or a desktop light for office recording and Zoom recording. There's a ton of them on Amazon, and you can do that in order to have better control of your lighting, but you don't have to. You can just use your phone or your webcam and record looking into a window. That's it. Now, you probably don't want to record the window as well. You just want to use it for lighting, but that's a really easy way to do it. And then number 3, and this comes back to the perfectionism thing. It's okay to look down at your notes. Throughout this talk, I'm looking at my notes to make sure I'm on track and I'm covering everything I want to cover. If you never break eye contact, it kind of makes you look like a serial killer. And so don't feel like you just have to maintain eye contact with the camera the entire time and never look down and never give off the vibe that you are referring to notes in order to tell where you are or what you want to talk about. That's totally fine. Totally normal. People know what you're doing and they're going to keep watching it. So don't let that hold you back and feel like you have to have a teleprompter or memorize your whole podcast episode. That's just a lot of stress you don't need in your life, okay? So once you have your video and your audio, how are you going to edit it? How are you going to put it together? So the software that I recommend is Adobe Premiere Rush. And the reason I recommend it is that it's free and it'll do everything that you need to do to edit a video podcast. It's available on Mac, Apple computers. It's available on Windows operating systems. It's also a mobile app, so you can download it on your iPhone or your Android phone, and you can edit the video and the audio right there on your phone. So if you use a platform like Anchor, you can have your whole workflow still be on your phone and use Adobe Premiere Rush to edit it. And what you're going to be doing is taking the video recording, if that's separate from your audio, and bringing that into Adobe Rush. And then you're also going to be bringing the audio track underneath it, and you're going to use the waveforms to line up the audio from the video with the audio you captured with your microphone. And then you're going to mute or delete the audio from the video track. So you have the highest quality audio that you've captured for your podcast and the video that you captured as well. You'll then want to cut off the beginning and the end where you're not quite recording yet. You've just hit the record button, but you don't want the episode to start with 10 seconds of dead silence. And then you'll chop off the end where you've stopped the episode, but you haven't quite hit stop on your recording software yet. And then you'll export that and upload it to YouTube. That's how you edit your podcast episode. You don't have to do fancy cuts. You don't have to do fancy graphics or transitions. You can certainly add that later on, and Adobe Rush will allow you to do that. But just getting started, just have that audio and video be really good quality and upload that to YouTube. Now, one thing you will need for YouTube that's different than podcasts is a thumbnail. So when you're creating a thumbnail, you want it to be visually interesting. You want it to represent what your episode is about. And you want it to match the branding of your audio podcast. So if people discover you on YouTube and want to subscribe in Apple Podcasts or Spotify, they know what to look for. And the best place to do that is Canva. Canva is a free online graphic design tool that has a ton of templates for you to use. So you don't have to be a graphic designer in order to make YouTube thumbnails. You just literally type into the search bar YouTube thumbnail, and it'll pull up a bunch of templates for you to start from with different colors, different designs, different styles, and you can customize it to match the branding of your podcast. And then now you have an episode template. So every time you record a new episode, you just change the text, change the picture, export it, and now you have a free YouTube thumbnail that looks really good for you to upload with your video. And that's all you need. That's literally all you need to do in order to turn your audio podcast into a video podcast. You want to use a camera that you already have, whether that's your mobile phone or your webcam. You want to use Adobe Premiere Rush to edit the beginning and the end of your recording and to use the highest quality video and audio that you've recorded in order to create a good video for YouTube. You're going to use Canva to create a thumbnail for that video for each and every episode, and then do everything else exactly the same way that you always do it when you're recording your audio episodes, when you're creating your outlines and your show notes and your titles and everything else. None of that changes. All you're doing is adding these little tweaks to add a video component to your podcast recording so you can put it on YouTube and have your podcast available on the #1 consumption app in the world for podcast listeners. So creating a video podcast does not have to be overwhelming. It doesn't have to be expensive. You don't even need to buy anything in addition to what you already have for creating your audio podcast. And now you have everything you need to jump into video with your show this year. Good luck. I look forward to seeing your podcast on YouTube.